The Department of Driver Services is a state agency. As a state lawmaker, did you know DDS was using facial recognition?
I did not.
Did you know the DDS was using facial recognition technology?
I actually wasn't aware of that.
Democrat State Representative Brian Prince and Republican State Representative Brad Thomas, both leaders on Georgia Legislature's Technology Committee, both just learning.
The state have to do a better job.
Now serving.
The agency tasked with providing driver's licenses, state IDs, and now even voter IDs uses that picture database for a facial recognition system.
It's something that we need to look into. It's something we need to take very seriously.
When submitting an ID application to the Department of Driver Services, or DDS, the use of this tech is not disclosed except for the general acknowledgement you're required to check off. I grant permission to the DDS to verify info and release any info to third parties, which include public and private entities. The possible private entities? Documents show since 2008, DDS has held contracts with private facial recognition companies.
It's not like the DMV is doing anything illegal.
No, and I think that is the part that is interesting, right?
Ramnath Chalapa, an associate dean at Emory who studies artificial intelligence and its impact on privacy.
You don't know when they're using that data, how they're using that data, or in what form are they using this data.
The researcher raises concerns about the unintended consequences of how it's all done. In 2015, beloved father and husband Marquise Stevens was murdered.
I don't know how I lived that night through, but I miss my son a lot.
At the time, no one had the suspect's name, but they did have this Instagram picture. A witness gave it to Atlanta police, who then sent the image to DDS. DDS ran a facial rec search using the state database of driver's license photos. Records show it delivered these 25 possible matches. This man here at the top would later be convicted of Marquise's murder. But that means these 24 other men had nothing to do with the crime. They were innocent. It's why we're blurring their faces. Yet police were able to use any of these images to potentially build a suspect lineup.
I've been in a lineup, more than likely.
I think that's probably true. We probably both have had our photos pulled into photo arrays countless times.
Kay Levine, former prosecutor, Emory professor of law.
If anybody thinks that the only people who are concerned about privacy are those people who have criminal behavior to hide, who have heroin in the trunk of their car or machine guns in their garage, they are mistaken.
Beyond privacy, she argues this could pose a court challenge, not for driving because that's only a privilege under the law, but voting, that's a right. And now in Georgia, IDs are required to cast a ballot. When a resident has no other form of ID, they can get a free voter ID card from DDS. But we confirm that same voter ID image would also be subjected to the facial recognition system.
This could be possibly a new frontier for people who want to assert an impact on their ability to vote.
Uncharted territory, one lawmakers are ready to regulate.
I think the state has a role in it, especially because your agencies, if you're funding those agencies, what they can share and what they cannot.
I think anything less than absolute maximum transparency is, anything less than that would be unwise by us as policymakers to allow that to happen.